What's up, Inquirers? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the investigation surrounding the death of Gloria Bambo. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. You are watching Inspiring Inquiry. So, in today's video, I want to direct you towards 20-year-old Texas resident Gloria Bambo, who was found on July 12th in her garage and is being considered by authorities to be a suicide. The reason that I'm discussing it on this channel is because across social media and news platforms, the ruling of suicide has been called into question. Social media users and groups like the Collin County NAACP have been skeptical of the alleged suicide, calling for answers to a number of questions. People asking things like, no one went into the garage for 3 days? If people were coming in and out for repairs, why wasn't she found for 3 days? And you expect me to believe that she was in a Texas garage for 3 days and no one could smell a decomposing body? According to news media sites, someone by the name of Jamila Arnold posted on Facebook and had this to say. Gloria Bambo, a resident of McKinney, Texas, was found hung inside her garage. Gloria resided with her roommate, a white male who found her in the garage Sunday, July 12, 2020. Gloria went missing Thursday and supposedly died in the garage the same day, July 9th. Gloria's body was in the garage for 3 days where people resided and repairs were made. No one has heard anything about this. Why? We need to know what happened to Gloria. Report number 20-005342, and as you guys can see, they listed a number of organizations at the bottom, tagging them in the post. Bringing awareness to Gloria's death and garnering a number of supporters that are also asking questions and demanding that they be answered. Today is July 28th, and just this morning, you could find thousands of tweets in the trending section in Twitter with the hashtag Justice for Gloria Bambo. Adding to the post released on social media, McKinney Police Department also released a statement through Facebook on July 22nd. This is what it reads. The McKinney Police Department typically does not comment on suicides, including naming the deceased, but due to the public nature of this case, we feel the need to clarify some inaccuracies. A number of posts on social media have speculated about the death of Gloria Bambo, a 20-year-old black female. Miss Bambo's body was discovered by her 19-year-old male housemate, who has fully cooperated during the investigation. All evidence in the case so far leads investigators to believe it was suicide. The medical examiner's findings are still pending, but the preliminary examination of the body has not uncovered any evidence to contradict what was discovered at the residence. The case is still under investigation and is not closed at this time. We are committed to a complete and thorough investigation of Miss Bambo's tragic death, and we grieve the tragic loss of this promising young life. Now we'll just have to wait and see what the medical examiner says about the way and the manner in which she died. She lived in McKinney, Texas with her roommate, who is 19, who has still yet to be named. Although his name wasn't released, he did ask a friend to release a statement and some screenshots on his behalf in order to combat some of the false information, as he calls it, that's been circulating and making its way around the internet. Gloria Bambo was my roommate, and I'd like to clear up the false narrative that is being spread on social media about her passing. Know that Gloria was diagnosed with bipolar and anxiety disorder, had endured trauma throughout her life, and was also estranged from her family. Gloria has been renting a room in my house since last September, and the last contact that I had with her was on July 9th, and our conversation was completely normal. On Friday, July 10th, the service people came to our door to pick up fans in the house since our water heater in the garage had leaked and the walls needed to be dried out. I texted her and tried to call her asking for her to answer the door since I was at work, but she was unresponsive. When I came home later that evening, I checked her room to see if she was okay, and I saw her bathroom light on, so I had assumed she was in there and fine. My mom was flying in that night to help deal with the water damage, so I had to pick her up from the airport, and when we got home, we discovered Gloria wasn't in her bathroom or anywhere else in the house. We called the police to report her missing once we had realized she wasn't in the bathroom and found that she had left an envelope on her bed with her driver's license and her last paycheck. She was fired from her job on July 2nd due to a mistake at work, 8 days before she went missing. I checked every room in the house but didn't think to check the garage because the garage door is broken and practically nobody goes in there. The police told me that not much would have been done with a missing person report since she had left of her own accord and was an adult. On July 12th, after I got home home from work, there was an overwhelming smell in the house that made me recheck each room, and I found out the smell was strongest in our laundry room, which shares a wall with the garage. That's when I checked the garage and found that Gloria had taken her life, and I called the police immediately after. Gloria Bambo was loved by me, my family, and my friend that was also close with her, and we are still grieving her death. There are so many hate crimes that Black people endure every day that are not reported, covered up, or not believed by police or media. It is understandable why people would jump to such conclusions, but in this case, Gloria, my friend, and my roommate suffered from a mental illness. Please stop the spread of false information. In addition to that info, a statement prepared by the Collin County NAACP reads, "At McKinney Police, we look forward to the family receiving the results of the autopsy, photos from the scene, statement from the roommate, and release of the handwriting analysis of the letter. We will not accept the sole statement from the roommate. We will seek justice." Now, in this statement, they alluded to a letter that they want examined by an expert in order to compare handwriting techniques. Now, the statement released by the roommate's friend mentioned that he found an envelope that had her license in it and her last paycheck, but it actually didn't say anything about a letter. So I'm wondering whether or not the NAACP has some information that we don't have yet. Now, after reading the statements that were released and reading some of the news articles that were also covering the topic, I too have a few questions that need to be answered. If the garage door was broken, like he said, and no one hardly ever went in there, then where exactly was he keeping the fans once he was done drying out the garage? He said that the people were coming by to get the fans, but they weren't kept in the garage where they were trying to dry out the things that had been damaged by the water. If she wasn't there to greet the repairmen to give them the fans, then what happened with that? Did he later give them the fans? Did he not give them to them the next day? I just don't understand what happened with that situation. I also found it interesting that they used the term unresponsive when she didn't respond to his text messages instead of saying something like that. Now, it may just be a bit pedantic on my end that I'm wondering, but I've only ever used or heard me use the term unresponsive or even non-responsive when they're talking about a person or a body or something like that they found. Not when you text someone and they don't text you back. I've never really heard that term be used like that. But that, like I said, that just may be me, and that is also a question that I would have as well. Lastly, if his mother had come and he had to pick her up from the airport and she was coming to help with his house with the water damage, where was she staying? If he picked her up on a Friday and he didn't find Gloria until Sunday, where was his mother staying? Now, I understand that he was saying that he was at work for part of that time, but where was his mother at? If she had come there to help him fix the things and she had arrived on a Friday, on a Sunday after he had gotten home from work, no one hadn't figured out where she was. I don't understand what the mother was doing in this time period if she had come to help him with the water damage. Lots of questions that need answers, but for now, we'll have to wait. As with all tragedies like this that I cover, we're going to go ahead and follow this, and I will be updating you guys as soon as any relevant information comes out. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching my video. If you haven't already, like this video. Share this video with all your friends and others if you want them to see it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get all future videos as soon as I upload them. As always, you guys are watching Inspiring Inquiry.